Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing Drake Delay Stochastic Indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched the first video on the channel and all the videos after that, you need to go do that now. Here at the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below in the description, and you should also see it pop up in the top corner right now. There is also a link down below to sign up for TradingView. You can save a little bit of money if you use the link below to sign up for your account. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform where we are having great discussions about all things to do with trading. Lastly, I get people who ask me if I can send them a list of all the winning indicators that we have discovered. If you are interested in receiving a list of all the indicators that we have tested, including the ones that we have discovered, but you are not interested in going back and watching all the videos from the beginning and all the way through to date, then what you can do is you can sign up for our Patreon. If you sign up for the $9 a month Patreon, then I will send you a list of all the indicators that we have tested to date. I also send out a updated list every week of all the indicators that we have tested up to that point. And if you are just interested in supporting the channel, there is a lower tier Patreon at about $3 a month that you can sign up for as well. So look for the Patreon link down below in the description to sign up for either of those. Alright, as I said, today we will be testing Drake Delay Stochastic Indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 217 indicators, and out of those 217 indicators, 83 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you can take any one of those 83 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right. So, as I said, today's indicator is the Drake Delay Stochastic Indicator. You can see it here on the bottom of the screen. There is a little bit going on with it, not a whole lot. Basically, what we have is the two-line cross, very similar to your standard stochastic. Then you have a, what is this, 80? 80, yeah, an 80 level kind of overbought area, and then a 20 level oversold area. And then you have the coloration in the background, which is rather difficult to see. So what we could do is bump those up to say 45. Something like that. That way we can see it a little bit better. How we are going to trade this indicator is pretty simple. There are two ways that we could trade it, We might try in both ways. Depends. I'll have to play around with it a little bit more to be sure. But first and foremost is just like a kind of standard stochastic. I mean, you can see where the background is changing from green to red and then back to green. And that's how we are going to test it in this first video here. So when the background goes to red, we are going to go short. When the background goes to green, we are going to go long. Like I said, pretty simple setup. The other way we could test it is if we waited for the stochastic line to get to either the overbought or oversold zone, get above or below those areas, and then wait for a reversal signal. So if we were to do it here on the upside, then what we would do is we wait for the stochastic to go up all the way into this overbought area here, and then we would wait for it to turn red in a reversal to go short, to the downside. And then in reverse, obviously, if we waited for it to come all the way down into this oversold area, then we would wait for it to go green, and when it goes green, we would take it for a long. Like I said, I'm not sure if we are going to test it that way or not. The problem that I see with that is that it's going to limit the number of signals that we get. But, you know, sometimes if you limit the number of signals that you get, but those signals are high quality signals, then it kind of, you know, the trade off is, you know, good. So, but first and foremost, like I said, what we'll do is we will test it just turning from red to green. And yeah, we will go with that first, kind of see what we can get out of it in that way. Let's go ahead and mark out some areas of support and resistance, just so that way we can keep an eye on it. So we will draw a line from here to there. We will mark off some areas here. Like so. And down to there. That way we have an idea of where we might have support and resistance, supply and demand areas. And then we will go ahead and play it out and see what we can get out of this indicator. So we're moving along here. We pick up a short. It's the first signal right here. Hit and zoom in on price action a little bit more there. Pick up a short right here. And let me measure this out to see. It looks like we got to take profit if we didn't get stopped out over here. And we did, unfortunately, just barely got stopped out right here on this really long wick to the upside. That is unfortunate when that happens. It's so close. So we would have come down and definitely hit our take profit had we not got stopped out by about 2 pips to the upside. There is about 93 pips up, and our stop is 90. And so that can be frustrating when that happens, no doubt. So we get a long signal right here to this side, and this time it worked out in our favor, got us up there into take profit rather easily. Now we pick up a short right here on this one, and once again we get a rejection of this lower area of support, it rejects and bounces itself back up, stopping us out. Keep on moving along here. There is a long signal there. Play it out a little bit more just to see what it does. Looks like we may have gotten ourselves stopped out. Right, yep. 163 pips down there before it then continued in our favor. And so, again, that is unfortunate when that happens. You can see that price action has now moved up into this area right here where it has bounced off of a few times. Well, at least, yeah, a few times here in the recent past. You can see that it started to reject it, giving these really long wicks to the upside, and this big candle kind of shooting down from there. It did give us a short signal right here at about the same time. So let's go ahead and play this out and see what it does. See if it can actually reject this area. It's just kind of chopping sideways right now. There we go. And it finally breaks down and gets us to take profits. And now once again, you see that price action came down. It bounced off this area of support to the lower side, started to roll up, kind of curl itself up and start to take off. That same exact time we get a signal to the upside, and that one works out for us as well, gets us to take profit again rather nicely. Now we're up into this area again. We've come up here multiple times, here and a few times back here in this price action, the historical price action back there. And you see that came up into this area, rolled over once again, and started to show signs of weakness, and the shorts jumped on it. They piled in, driving it to the downside. The signal might be a little bit delayed right here on the Drake Stochastic, because we would have liked to have gotten in more to the upside here. This big candle right here took up a lot of real estate as it came down. Kind of put us in a bad position, because now we've moved down rather significantly, and we could probably expect to see some kind of reversal or correction, whether it's a really strong one or just a quick reversal and then continuation, or a quick pullback and then continuation. So let's go ahead and play this out. Alright, good. So we actually did not get a pullback right there. We were able to break down rather quickly and get to our take profit. So that worked out rather nicely for us. Alright, we've come down into this area again. We're just kind of consolidating, trading sideways. We did pick up a long signal right here on this one. Let's go ahead and play it forward and see if we get a push to the upside. Get a small push right there. It looks like that probably got us to take profit. Let's see. Yep, that one got us to take profit, so that one worked out for us. And now we are showing signs of weakness as we just traded sideways here for a while, and is now picking up a short signal over here. Looks like we may get a small push to the downside at least. We've had a lot of movement to the downside, and so this might just be a quick push to the downside, and then it's kind of bounces and takes back off. This uncertainty right here, as it just kind of chopped sideways, has me concerned, because typically this means that price action is getting ready to start in the opposite direction of where it was going when this choppiness started. It's not always the case, but generally speaking, if the market was going to continue down than it would come down, bounce just a little bit, do a few pullbacks, and then continue down in that direction. But this tells me that there are a lot of people who are unsure of where price action is going to go, and so we have longs and shorts both piling in here. Let's see what happens though. We are on a short signal. Let's go ahead and play it out. Looks like we barely got to take profit on that. Let's double check that wick there to the downside. Yep, 70 pips. So we got it there, but you see it came down, wasn't really able to make any good move to the downside, and as soon as it came down, it got bought up and is now starting to push its way upwards now. So let's see what it does. And we pick up a long signal right here, and we get a strong push to the upside really quick, gets us to our first take profit, and almost immediately starts to reject that area. Has a pullback, and now looks like it's going to bounce and start to move to the upside now. Let's see what happens. See if it actually breaks and goes. There it goes. And so you see how when you get a strong push to one side and then you get consolidation, just riding sideways for a while, that can be a sign that we are looking for a reversal to take place very soon. We pick up another short over here on this side. Looks like we did good. That one also got us to take profit. So rather nicely getting to our targets. We get another long over here. Price action comes down. It bounces off of this support level right here. Again, these are all just Fibonacci levels that we drew. This can make it easier for those of you who are new to drawing support and resistance lines. This can make it really easy for you to kind of map out areas of support and resistance without really having to think about it, without really having to put your own bias into, you know, well, I think it looks like there's a support and resistance area here, or saying like, you know, it kind of looks like there's a support and resistance area right here. And so that can get biased, and it can cause issues, because then everybody has their own kind of idea of where support and resistance is just by looking at the chart and kind of, you know, eyeballing where these lines should be. So if we use something like a Fibonacci retracement and then map out the levels of the Fibonacci, then we know that anybody who is using that as a pattern to map out your support and resistance, we're all getting the same exact areas of you know, supply and demand. And so let's go ahead and keep playing it forward here. Again, doing rather nicely, getting to our take profits. Let's see what this one does. And right as I say that, looks like we're going to pick up a losing trade. We did right there. And that's bound to happen. I mean, no indicator is going to be 100% perfect and give you 100% winning signals all the time. It's only a matter of time before they are going to give you a losing signal. Mark that one as the red. So we lost on that one. Then we got to take profit on this one. Let's see. So when the market moves in really short bursts like this, I can already tell that this indicator does not like that. It doesn't have time to quite catch up. I mean, obviously it's called Drake delay stochastic, but that may not necessarily mean that there's a heavy delay in it. Not really sure. Haven't really dug into the code to understand why it's called that, but it does seem like it delays just ever so slightly, getting us in at the appropriate time. Sometimes it does really well, other times it's kind of iffy. And so again, we're right here in this area. I mean, we have bounced off this area of support and resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7 times now. And so once again, and then counting these back here, 8, 9, 10 in this general zone right here, we've come up and bounced off of it multiple times now. And so you know, it's realistic to expect that it's going to bounce off this area again, but just about the time you expect it's going to do what it has done multiple times will be the time that it actually smashes up above and then takes off on us. The thing that I'm worried about is this channel trading sideways right here. And so this is kind of like a spring that's just coiling up, ready to be unleashed and spring in one direction or another. And considering how it doesn't seem to want to go down, every time it goes down, it seems to want to go up. And I mean, we see here it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up. It doesn't seem to want to go any lower here. Even when we went back here, comes down, jumps up, comes down, jumps up. And so seems to really be rejecting the lower side here. And so that has me a little bit concerned that we may actually see this spike up above this area and take off. Maybe not right now. It may take just a few more bounces before it does that. But typically what you want to see is a strong push to the downside with a lot of extension, then a move to the upside where it starts to have weakness, a strong, an extended move to the upside. And so like over here where we have a good deal of price action going up, 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 and then it starts to lose weakness, allowing it to then start to come back down and relieve that pressure. Right now, we're not having strong pushes down. We're coming down and holding, going back up, coming down and holding, going back up, coming down and holding. And so it's just like a spring that's really starting to tighten right here, which tells me that we may see this spike to the upside and eventually break above this area right about here. This is not a Fibonacci level. This is an area where we've just noticed it has come up and bounced multiple times and hasn't been able to break and hold above that level for any period of time. So let's just go ahead and play this out and see what it does. All right, we pick up a short. Yep, see, that's what I was afraid of. Let's be mindful of our indicator here. So we pick up a short right about here. That one definitely did not work out for us. Pick up a long right here. That one squeezed out our take profit. Then a short right here, which got stopped out rather quick with a spike to the upside. And let's see, came up and it broke above this level, starting to reject it now. Let's see if it's strong, if it gets a strong push to the downside, or if it comes down, bounces, and then spikes its way back up and through. That is the question. So it's going. It's really uncertain now. You can see that it's starting to trade sideways and coil up that spring one more time, but we're like one step up above, trading up above. So if we were down here in this area before, now we're up here in this area. And so again, that's not a great sign, because that can indicate that it's stair-stepping its way a little bit higher, so the bulls are slowly taking over here. Let's see, we get a long signal right here, got us to take profit, but only barely, and a short signal right here. I don't think that wick was 90 pips. It was not. So we're still good at the moment. Let's go ahead and keep playing this out. Unfortunately, that one would have gotten us stopped out. See if it breaks and takes off to the upside, or if it finally rejects to the downside. Looks like we're going down. Alright, so we pick up a long right here. That one didn't work out for us. Then one more time, short right here, getting us to take profit, and that puts us at the end of the year right there. Alright, so there we have it. That is Drake delayed stochastic. So let's count these out and see what we get out of them. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So we have 23 signals all together. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. 14 winning signals. And so we barely get to the 60% criteria. And so yeah, this one did reasonably well. It's going to go on the yes list, and we'll move on to the next indicator from here. If you have not already, like this video, share this video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. So that way you know what indicators we have tested and are testing. Also, there is a link down below to join our Discord server, which is a free group communication platform where we discuss all things trading related. There is also a link down below to TradingView, and if you use that link to TradingView to sign up for an account, you will save a little bit of money. And lastly, there is a link down below to sign up for Patreon. Please sign up for the Patreon and support the channel the best way you can.